So for my two participants here, I have Aaron Pilkey and I have Avanego Rivera Moreno over here on the phone, and I'm going to start sharing my screen. Let's see. So before I start speaking and playing the video, I just wanted to show my materials here. So for this sewing a button, you need a thread, a needle, a spare piece of fabric. Usually that would go on like a shirt or something, and something to clip the excess, and a button, obviously. Let me start this here. So I have the thread. I have it threaded through the needle here. If that's unfamiliar to you, then I would recommend Googling it. And here I am tying a knot in the back of it. My technique that I've learned is to wrap it around your finger and then sort of pull it. And if it pulls like a top knot in there, then it should be good. And then here you see before on the fabric, I've got the placement for the button. And then you start from the back so that the knot isn't showing on the front, because if you did go through the front, it would show that little knot right there. And then you just start with that first one. And then we're starting here and try to get as close to that placement as possible. And then throughout this presentation, usually people either do like an X pattern or a square pattern. I ended up doing both. And I did want to go ahead and say, with this one, I'm using a 4-hole button, which is like the most classical style, but there are ones that is a shank button. On the back is a hook, so you won't be able to see what you're sewing through necessarily if you're looking at it from the front. You have to be looking behind it if you're unfamiliar with hand sewing in that nature. And so going through here. But this is one of the reasons why going through whenever you buy like a nice coat or something, whenever they come with the extra buttons, usually come with an extra button in case it pops off, you know. Um, this is a really useful skill for pretty much everyone to have, in my opinion. Oh, you see here, I made a mistake. Usually, I would recommend, if you're working with some sort of expensive fabric or a nice coat, something like that, do not pull it through back through like what I did, because it ends up pulling out and throwing the tension of the fabric all out of whack, as you can kind of see here, the little pulls. But for this demonstration, I'll just continue on either way. And I think I'm on here with this one. And then you see the back here, pulls. You don't want to clip it all the way down to the bottom. You want to clip like a significant amount up so that you can create another knot to keep it secure to the fabric. And then basically you're doing like the first step of a tying your shoe. Just simple knot over and over until it's thick enough, or you've got multiple chains down on it to get it secured. And then just clip the excess off once you made it to a decent point. And for the front, you see here, I tied it a little bit tight for this one, but you can, once you've a little bit more experienced, tie it a little bit looser maybe, you know. for different types of buttons or what you're caring for. And basically, that's about it. Do either of you have any questions?
You explained quite well.
Yeah, that was very informative. I appreciate it.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.